Andy Ruiz said he had to buy himself out of his top-ranked contract. Wow. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Now, Andy Ruiz, man, it's Andy Mania. He really shook up the boxing game, especially in the heavyweight division. He's with Al Haymon, aligned with premier boxing champions, and he's on the verge of a career-defining fight. It's going to be a rematch with Joshua. We know Joshua may have underestimated Andy Ruiz, but now he knows full on what he's dealing with. Andy Ruiz did a recent interview. He took a trip to Mexico, spent some time with, billionaire Carlos Sims, and also the president of Mexico. And he's just getting embraced by the people. It's going on for him. He talked about recently in several interviews the good and bad times. He said he was with Top Rank, and then he was kind of forgotten about. They didn't really move him. He couldn't get any fights. This is what he said, and I'll give you guys an exact quote. Top Rank, I had to buy myself out of my contract. I was a bit sad at the time because they did not give me any fights. Since I've signed with PBC, and they have brought me fights, and thank God I got the opportunity for the World Championship. And now he's negotiating with Anthony Joshua for another lucrative payday and everything. So, this is an amazing story, from rags to riches type deal with Andy Ruiz. And a lot of people blame Al Haymon, say he doesn't care, he's the cancer of boxing, those different types of things. But none of the fighters are complaining, like media writers, who happen to be American, who for whatever reason hate Al Haymon. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with a black man being so powerful, or ties to another promoter. Bob Arum, after the Crawford Khan fight, he got on the record and said a bunch of slanderous things. He said Al Haymon don't want to work with white promoters, but then Andy Ruiz is his fighter and worked with the white promoter and Eddie Hearn. And then it was revealed during fight week for the Ruiz Joshua fight that a Tyson Fury Wilder deal was to take place for early 2020, the first 3 months of the year. So none of it's really making sense. Al Haymon, I don't understand. I do and I don't. From a realistic point of view of what they're saying, I don't understand why people are hating. But, having a bit of logic, I know why they hate Al Haymon. He's a black man. He's powerful. He's not doing interviews and getting caught up in contradictions and lies. And he's picking up some of these fighters that may have had other promoters, like Andy Ruiz, Manny Pacquiao, and he's making events with his stable. He's making events. Look at Pacquiao. Since Pacquiao has signed with them, we're getting better fights from Pacquiao than we've seen in quite some time. The Broner fight, that was a good performance, and now Pacquiao's training for the Keith Thurman this summer. So I see why people are mad. Same thing with Andy Ruiz. Same thing with Mikey Garcia. These guys all left Top Rank for one reason or another. And now Bob Arum has all this negative stuff to say about them. Mikey Garcia fought Errol Spence. He took a challenge. He came up short. Bob Arum's like, oh, he quit. Mikey is a quitter, and he's belittling him. But you didn't make Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia when they were both undefeated. And Mikey, the reason he moved up to 47 is because he said on record, I have the tape, he didn't believe Top Rank wanted it, so he's not going to sit around waiting for Lomachenko. He had to move on with his career. He already wasted enough time in that 2.5 year layoff dealing with the lawsuit with Top Rank. Same thing with Andy Ruiz. When Andy Ruiz was with Top Rank, he had one title shot in the little talked about Joseph Parker fight. Some of you guys may not have watched, which could have been one of the reasons why nobody expected Andy Ruiz to do good versus Joshua, because that came on. It was in like New Zealand or somewhere Parker is from. It came on extremely early. It wasn't even like mapped out and scheduled like Pacquiao Horn, where it came on at a reasonable time in the States. It came on bright and early in the morning. Some of you guys didn't even watch the fight. That's why you guys were shocked when Andy Ruiz did as good. But if you watch the fight, Ruiz, I thought he won the fight with Parker, and Parker hurt Dillian White, knocked him down on all fours. He didn't hurt Ruiz like that. So I knew things about Ruiz which is why I did the 7 reasons video. And now you see Bob Arum, who didn't really do anything. He looked at Ruiz as kind of expendable, didn't really do anything. Ruiz is telling you, they didn't give me no fights. And then, you know, he bought himself out of his contract, and now that relationship is stained. And then Ruiz got picked up by PBC. They put him on the Danny Garcia undercard. He made a paycheck there, and then now he just became a unified champion and a overnight success and set history for Mexico. So the stuff Bob Arum is saying, it's apparent why he's saying it. He's upset that he doesn't get to collect that bag with Andy Ruiz, and his fighter didn't set history for Mexico. Bob Arum has been around for, you know, quite some time in the boxing game, and he knows how big the Mexican, Hispanic, Latino population is. You see, he has fighters like Oscar Valdez and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. So who wouldn't want a part of what Andy Ruiz's experience? First Mexican heavyweight. This is unheralded. It's never happened before, and it didn't even look close to happening. The last time maybe it was close to happening was Chris Arreola, but then he lost to Klitschko, and, you know, in a bad way. And Andy Ruiz just came out and flipped the script on everybody, and he was brought in to lose with little time to prepare. So it's crazy to see this rags to riches story from. It makes me respect Andy Ruiz for sticking with it mentally, not just the physical part, but sticking with it mentally and not getting discouraged when he got dropped and, you know, had to fight on undercards and wasn't really being talked about, because he stuck with it, stayed disciplined, and now look at him. Now look at him. He had to buy himself out of his contract, and now his old promoter's like, oh, Andy Ruiz didn't fight the real Joshua, you know, finding ways to hate. That's not a good look, in my opinion. That's finding a way to hate. What do you mean he didn't fight the real Joshua? Joshua signed up, he weighed in, he lost. End of story. You know, you can't, because it didn't go how you expected it, or because you want to throw salt on someone's game, you can't say he didn't fight the real Joshua. Joshua signed up, he passed all his medicals, you know, and the rest is history. Let me know what you guys think. Incredible story from Andy Ruiz. You know, I support underdogs. I support American champions. And those are two things that Andy Ruiz is. I just think he's a humble cat. And now he's talking about getting past Joshua and fighting Wilder. So I love the attitude. Check out my other video. Talk more about Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. If you're new, consider subscribing to the channel. New media, man. We having a great year and we just working. Thank you guys. Peace. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.